Hello everyone, right now is June 1st, 2019, Saturday, around 7:23 p.m. here in New York City. So in this video, we're going to be using my proprietary Pendragon 3-2-1 trading system and following the easy Pendragon 3 steps to analyze the following instruments. We're going to first look at SPY, that's the S&P 500 ETF, then GC, that's the Gold E-mini futures, and then CL, that's the crude oil futures, and Google, that's Alphabet, and finally you can look at KTOS, that's the Kratos, Defense and Security Solutions. Alright, let's get right to it. So, first, a quick recap. The Pendragon 3-2-1 system consists of 3 price lines, 2 trading signals, and 1 sets indicator. And then the only way to use it, all you need is 3 quick easy steps. So these are the quick 3 steps. Step 1 is to validate the signals and the trends. So we're going to look for the closest trend or trading signals. Alright, and how far is it from the current trading price? Step 2, we're going to be observing the directional bearing. So is the current price above, below, or in the middle of the Pendragon 3 lines? And finally, step 3, we're going to be consolidating the price levels. So we're going to look for, are there any significant potential support and resistance price levels? What that means is that if either in the same time frame or across different time frames, do we have the price lines that have very close or similar price levels? Alright, so first up, we are looking at the SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF. So step 1, we will be looking for trends and trading signals. So if you see a DN, that stands for downtrend. You know, this you see this cyan or pink cross. Alright, you see this up, that stands for uptrend, right? S stands for short, L stands for long. So first up, we're gonna look for these guys and see how close they are to the current trading price. So on the monthly chart, we have a long signal that's still in effect since about February. Okay, so on the monthly chart, you know, the trend's still up, and on the weekly chart, the trend is still up. Okay, but on the daily chart, however, we have a downtrend now. So that's why you can see that recently the market's been going down. That's all due to this, downtrend right here. Now, step 2, we're going to see where the price is in relation to the 3 lines. Are they above, in the middle, or below? If the price is above all 3 lines, that means there's a good chance for a big up move because there are no more resistance above now. If the price is below the 3 lines, there's a good chance for if the price is going to go down, there's a good chance for a big down move because again, there's no supports below now. If it's going to be in between the 3 lines, then we can use these 3 lines. The lines above act as potential resistance and the lines below acts potential support. So this tells us where in relation to various potential support and resistance points, which I call them the pressure points, as labeled by these 3 lines, where the market is. So on the monthly chart, it's still above the 3 lines, although it's getting pretty close to our first green line, which 273.10. So that's something we need to watch out for. Now on the monthly chart, it's now actually pretty much in the middle. So it's very close to the weekly support of 274.04. Alright, so that means at least on the weekly chart, it's a potential into a trading range. Now on the daily chart, it's still within the 3 lines. Again, it's very close to the purple line 274.07. So that's finally 3 steps. Okay, third step, we're going to be consolidating the price levels. So that means we're going to check out for any potential support, strong support resistance. We do that by trying to see any price numbers that are close to each other. So first thing we're going to look for are the numbers that's close to each other. Well, if you look at it, 274.07 on the daily chart, this number is fairly close to 274.04. Right? They only different by 0.03. Alright? So these 2 numbers are fairly similar to each other. This could be a potential support. Okay, we are not quite there yet. Friday's close was 275.27. So let's see how the market react when it reached there. If it broke below that, okay, the next support will be 266.92 right here on the weekly chart. That's on the purple line, or actually the next one will be 273.10 also on the monthly chart. Okay, so before you get to 266, we look for this 273. So since 274 and 273, they are 1 point difference. Okay, in that region, that could be our first strong support. Now, bear in mind, if the market does break below the 273, obviously you're going to seek out for the next target. So once you break 266.92, and that's on the weekly, on the monthly is 264.34. That will be our next potential support level. So we're going to see how the market react over there. If the market doesn't break below those and it bounce from there, that's a potential long signal, right? If the market break down, we're going to look for the next one, which is 235.42. Okay, that's a purple line. If the market does go down to this number, 235.42, that means this market is could be in a serious trouble. And if we break below that, like I mentioned to you guys before, that is going to be a quite extraordinary event, because that is telling us that now the market is below all three potential lines. So we might actually have a huge potential down move occur from there. But we are still very far away from there. So let's see what happens. Okay, so right now we have all these price level to look out for. So another strong possibility is that at least on the weekly time frame and the daily time frame, they are between three lines. So if you drop below the 273 level, okay, even on the monthly chart, it's conceivable, since the summers is coming, that the market could just be in a trading range, okay, between all these lines. So let's see what happens. But now the system give us guidance, okay, give us a clue where the market potentially might go. All right, next thing I'm going to look at is GC. That's the gold futures contracts. So right away, first step number one, let's look for signals and trends. So on the monthly chart, we have a short signal. All right. So that actually happened quite a few months ago already. So basically, we've been short all the way from 1338-ish. Okay, that's quite a good short signal here. Everybody see that? So that's quite a nice little mini move. This is on the monthly chart now. Okay. Now, on the weekly chart, it's still an uptrend. Okay, even though it's been going weak, there's getting weaker and weaker, is suffering on the pink line. We'll get to that later. So on the so there right now we have conflicting thing right here, but this is only an uptrend indication. Okay, indicator. Now on the daily chart, we have. All right, let me. It's down. We have a S that stands for short signal. Okay, but this is way back already. This is almost 2 weeks ago. This is a daily chart. So that signal, if you take a short position right there, you would have made your money already. So that one is basically, so that's irrelevant. So that's step one. That's right here. Okay. Now, step two, what we're going to do is look at the bearings. Where is the market, where the price is in relation to the three lines. On the monthly chart, okay, look, everybody see how that it bounced off this green line over here on the monthly chart, and it bounced back up. It was 1282.74. That's what the line, the number is. But if you look at this, let me blow up this chart. Everybody see the green line? Previous month, it touched, it couldn't break through, it couldn't break below it. It bounced back up a little bit. And this month, same thing, and now it's bouncing off that. So the next target we're going to look at is on the monthly chart is 1319.22. That's the next potential support. Okay, so even though the gold made quite dramatic move, okay, but if you look at long-term monthly basis, hey, it still could be in this trading range. Now on the weekly chart, similarly, 1291.30, okay, it's basically hugging this purple line right here, right? So now it's going back to the three lines. Hugging this pink line right here. So now we're going to the potential trading range mode. So even though it just bounced quite a bit, only saving grace for the bulls, at least on the gold, is that at least on the daily time frame, it's not above all three lines. Okay, so the next target you might want to go to, it's 1319 on the monthly chart and 1326 on the weekly chart. So even though on the daily chart this is quite strong, so watch out for those potential resistance levels. If you are a quick swing trader or somebody you don't want to hold a position, that could be a potential place for you to lighten up your position and watch out for potential reversal. But if it doesn't reverse from there, hey, the market might go up. All right, so that's where we are right now. Okay, So that's the 3 steps. So we're going to consolidate the price level. We kind of just did that already, right? So we look at the price level. Right now, to be honest, if I'm looking at a gold here, there's not that many price, at least on the top side, that's fairly close to each other. So there's not much consolidations to be done here. We just have to watch out for these raw numbers. All right, let's move on to crude oil. These are the products that has been making kind of dramatic move right here. So first up, let's look for signals and trends. So on the monthly chart, we have a downtrend alert right here. DN stands for downtrend alert. And that signal happened about 2 months ago, and lo and behold, crude oil being quite low. And on top of it, okay, we have an uptrend, potential uptrend alert, but this alert only occurred at the end of this week. Okay, only at the end of this week. So the previous one on the weekly chart previously, however, we do have a short signal. Actually, a couple short signals right here on the weekly chart, right? This is off the weekly chart. So the weekly chart, if you follow the weekly signal, you would have gotten short crude oil already from a few weeks back, right? And I think I mentioned that in the other videos. Now, on the daily chart, finally, we also have a downtrend. So, the situation here is right now, it's interesting. On the monthly and the daily, we definitely had 2 downtrend indicators. On the weekly chart, we have a short signal with a potential up alert, but we'll see how this thing goes. All right. So step 2, let's see get our directional bearing. Let's see where the trading price is in relation to the 3 lines. It's not looking too good for crude oil. All right. So on the monthly chart, it's obviously below all 3 lines. On the weekly chart, below all 3 lines. On the daily chart, below all 3 lines. What is that telling us right now? So actually, we're saying that when the moment it breaks below 3 lines, there's a potential for big down move happen. That's indeed what happened here. Look at the monthly. The price level was 57.29. The moment it broke that level, okay, crude oil just dropped like the rock. Okay. Now, if you're judging on this action right now, this might be a very huge drop. So maybe a short-term rebound is possible. But the fact that it's below all 3 price lines, okay, the trend and the direction and the pressure is definitely toward the downside rather than upside. So what we should do is, if you haven't already longed it, you're looking to go long, looking to short, you haven't shorted already, look for these potential price or possible entry point or potential resistance point. So let's try to consolidate the prices. Let's see if we can see any price that are fairly close to each other. Well, let me see. First thing I can see is this 58.74. It's fairly close to this 58.50. So around this level, 58.50 to 58.74-ish, okay, around that price range, could be our potential strong resistance. But that is quite far away because on Friday, crude oil closed at 53.50. So that is a good $5 above. All right. And the closest one actually is this green line on the daily chart, 56.84. So let's see how that works out. Okay. So if you're holding a short position temporarily, only concern that I would have is that because it dropped too much already, too quick. So, we know nothing goes straight down. Okay, usually, all right? I mean, never say never. But so watch out for a possible quick rebound. Okay? And let's see what happens. If it doesn't, if it rebound, you can always lighten up a position. And when you resume the down move again, it can always, chase the market. I mean, just like I said, bear in mind, the market is definitely, it indicates all the trend signals giving us that this is a pretty negative market. Only thing I'm worried about potential is this uptrend right here. We'll see how this thing goes. All right? But right now, watch 56.84, then 57.29 on the monthly level for the potential resistance. So for the shorts, okay, if you're a long-term player, this could be a place for you to add onto your position, or if you want to initiate short position, that's your potential first level. But honestly, I like this 58.50 to 58.74 level better. All right, because they have more numbers over there. And of course, the next up, we had these 59, 59, 65, and 60. So the whole bunch potential resistance at 60 level. Okay, that is for crude oil. Now, next thing we're gonna look at is Alphabet or Google. All right. So okay, first up, again, let's look at the trends and signals on the long term, on the monthly chart. Okay, we have a long signal still in effect from few months ago. All right. So technically, it's still a long trend on the monthly chart. Now on the weekly chart, yes, we still have a long trend. Okay, an uptrend. Okay, there's an uptrend alert right here. All right. Okay, and on the daily chart, now we have a downtrend indicator. That was maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So everybody can see that it could not break above this pink line right here. That's when the market started its this latest leg down. Now, okay, let's get to that. Step two is what? To get a directional bearing. Find out where the price is in relation to 3 lines. So on the monthly chart, okay, it's between the three. It's among the 3 lines, below the purple line and above the green and the pink one. So we could be going to a trading range situation over here, right? On the weekly chart, same thing. Okay, only thing that is quite negative, it's on the daily chart. Okay, on the daily chart, Google is below all 3 lines. That's why, and in fact, we see that before on the daily chart, we had this first down alert, and then you couldn't break this line, and then and actually, again, the logic work over here when you drop below the 3 lines, when the purple line no longer held, right? When the price on the daily time frame anyway, below all 3 lines, that's when this big move happened anyway. So what we're gonna see from Google now on the daily chart, there's a potential for the down move to continue, right? So now step 3, consolidated price level. So where's our potential support? On the weekly chart, first thing we see this 1067.22. Let's see any number close to that we can similar link against. Well, we have this 1070.77. It's about $3 off. Given that this is a $1,000 stock, that's really only 0.3%. So I would say that is, I guess you could call it, semi fairly close. So let's watch for that. Okay. So if the market if Google continue to drop, the stock continue to drop, watch this 1067 to 1070 level. Okay. So for those of you who are shorted, watch for that level for your first potential profit target. All right. Because these lines also act as a attract the price to it. For those of you who haven't shorted already, watch for this 1137, 1141. These 2 numbers are fairly close. This is on the daily time frame. That could be a potential resistance level. Okay, so the market might want to bounce back up to that price level. And if you haven't got shorted, thinking about getting short, if the market cannot break above those resistance, that's your potential short level. Right? If you're a long-term short player, or you want to add on, that's your potential add-on level. Okay, so that's Google. All right, so basically we have short-term weakness. On the medium and winter term, we might be in a trading range. So let's see how this thing play out. So finally, we have KTOS as requested by one of the viewers. This is Kratos, I don't know how to pronounce it, Defense and Security Solutions. So wow, okay, before we're looking at stock that's going down, so this is a very, very strong stock. So step 1, look for trends and signals. On the monthly chart, we have an uptrend way back in, wow, okay, when is this? Let's take a look. How long ago was that? That's way back in March 2017, over 2 years ago. So basically for the last 2.5 years, you see how strong this uptrend really is? So if you are a long-term position trader, you could be longing the stock ever since way back when. And look at how these 3 lines. Okay, this is a beautiful, beautiful uptrend. This Kratos, Defense and Security Solutions. Okay, frankly, I never heard of the stock. I just analyze it because they're, subscriber requested. Now on a weekly chart, wow, look at this, beautiful. We have a confirmed long signal. Right, actually 2 of them, in fact. Right. And let's blow up this chart and see what happened. Yep. And the uptrend July 18, actually between few long signals too, they all worked out pretty well. Okay. So that's why I think earlier video I mentioned that if you're going to long something for extra bang, okay, extra fuel to your rocket, you want to multiple time frame they all lined up. So the monthly going, is uptrend. You want a weekly also have a long signal and the daily, and this is how you make the big money. Now on the uptrend, on the daily chart right here, there's an uptrend right here a few weeks ago, right? And all this thing, okay? That's step 1. So obviously the stock is very strong. Now step 2, get directional bearing. Where is the price in relation to 3 lines? Well, this is so easy. Look at it on 303 time frame. It's above all 3 lines. No wonder this stock is super strong, right? No wonder. Look at that. Ever since back in this 2017, let me remove these guys. On the monthly chart, the moment it goes above all 3 lines, huge move up, right? Then later on, it has a little temp pullback, but it's still above it, and now it's the next leg up. Boom. Right? The stock, I don't know how to trade like, but see the logic helps. My feelings that, you know what, let me take a look. Let me take a look at the volume. My feelings that this may not be a very, the volume is about 800, 900,000 shares. It's not 1 million shares. Okay, I mean, it's not one of those most active stock. I mean, it has a decent volume, but it's not one of those most active stock. But again, the logic holds. Now on the weekly chart, okay, again, 3 lines above. That's why we have this huge move, especially this latest long signal. Look at this. The moment the price go above the 3 lines, just like a rocket, it took off. Okay, same thing on the daily chart, above 3 lines. Boom. Look at that. Finally, okay, since this one is going up, we're going to consolidate some price level. See if we can find any price level that's very close. Obviously, your first potential support is going to be a 2142 right here. The next one is 2060. So we have 2060 and 2045. Okay, that's your next level. And below that, what do we have here? Well, 1697, 1745. Yes and no. I could probably break those 2 numbers. 1603, that's too far apart. Okay, so they are we're not going to really concern about those. Are too much unless this thing just crashed down. So right now, that's what we're going to look for. Okay, obviously trade something like this require a little bit of guts. All right, because the stock just seems like it will retrace. Okay, pull back a little bit, touch these lines, doesn't break, and then have to take off. So what you should do, if you have these lines, these guidance as your potential guide, you can either trade it with the smaller scale, smaller position. All right, so you reduce your risk, or you can use options. But the options, how to play with options, beyond the scope of this video, so I'm not going to go into it. So this is what we have. So basically, the logic still holds. Alright, so we just used the Pendragon 321, 3 steps, analyze the 5 instruments. So that concludes this week's video. If you need to contact me, my information is in the description below. Please let me know the products you'd like me to analyze for the next videos. And I will see you next time. Alright, take care. See you guys later. Bye bye.